Jonathan, long trip back from Exeter, obviously. What do you and the rest of the team need to improve to kind of put the result behind you?
Um, to be honest, I think it was just a really poor day at the office. You know, I know that Connor said that we just weren't at it, and to be honest, it was really bad. I watched the game back and we weren't good enough in any sort of any part of the pitch. And like you said, and these games do happen. It's more about us finding our consistency so that there's less days like this. So I think we've got a busy period now up until probably until Anfield really, and then it's just about, like I said, trying to gain some sort of consistency.
One extreme to another, isn't it? With results at the minute. I mean, as a player, that must be as frustrating for you guys as it is for the supporters.
Yeah, definitely, because you feel like we're sort of, you know, connecting well, the chemistry's there, and we're enjoying ourselves, and the goals are flooding and everything like that. And then the next week, we've taken a backward step, almost, and we've got a lot of young players in the team. Our core's still very young. Even our senior players, a lot of them are still younger than possibly around the league. So I think we're finding out how to sort of cut out them sorts of games, and we need to do it fast if we want to be up there at the end of the season. So that's all where the focus is.
You've still put yourselves in a very strong position, though, haven't you, at this stage? You're in that top half. You're within a few points and places of the playoffs. You've got games in hand. Is that, I know Connor spoke today a lot about the opportunity that's ahead. Do you all kind of feel that you've really got that opportunity now to kick on in the second half of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think any of the confidence or the belief in the team has has left at all, or anything's changed with some of the results we've had. It's just it's a bit of a reality check for us, I think, with how strongly we started the season. I think it was sort of we have got a lot of work to do, and the league is still very wide open. Like, if we win a couple of games on the bounce, suddenly you find yourself in the playoff places, which we need to try and take advantage of that, because the possibility and it's what we want to do at the end of the season, and you want to be up there and you want to be competing and playing in those games. So yeah.
Personally, can you quite believe how your career has advanced in the last 6 months or so?
Yeah, I'd have liked to have said it would have gone this way. Whether I'd have got it spot on, I'm not sure. Yeah, I've played a lot of games this season, which is what I said in one of my interviews towards the back end of the season, is I just wanted to play as many games as possible. At the minute, I think I featured in almost every game other than the ones I've been suspended in. So it's just to continue doing that, I think, gaining experience. I feel like, with the good and the bad, I'm learning stuff, and I'm trying not to get too high with it, and then also, after Exeter, trying not to be too low with it. So it's just trying to find a bit of a middle ground.
What's Connor said about your development, and secondly, kind of how grateful are you to him in the faith that he's shown in you over this period?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said in a lot of interviews that Connor gave me a chance, and it does come from me taking it as well. But he's continually put his faith in me in a variety of positions. I've played all over the pitch, so development wise as well, that's a big learning thing for me. I'm constantly learning about different ways of playing the game. I'm not just like, my favorite position and what I think my position is a six, but I am able to play it right back or left back if needed. So he's just keeping my mind open and trying to make me a better footballer all round rather than just one specific point.
Is he hard on you? Does he kind of push you, and is he really keen to kind of drive you forward and not settle on what you've done so far?
Yeah, definitely. But I think he's the same with everyone. He demands standards throughout the group. And like you say, he's given me a lot of faith, so he wants it to be repaid, and that's all I'm trying to do is just repay repay his faith by putting in good performances and being better. And like you say, he's pushing me towards that because he believes that I've got a higher ceiling than what I am at the minute. So that's that's good.
Some great options, isn't there, in that middle of the midfield? I mean, you've kept John Russell out of the team quite a bit so far this season, but you must have really benefited from the likes of John and Luca and some of the other guys in there in terms of helping your development as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like these boys have played hundreds of games, and just it's just little things as well. At some points, it's not always a massive change, it's just little bits of mentality or composure, they're not flustered, so I think things like that are things that I'm slowly picking up from them, but as long as I train with them every day and they keep pushing me, then I'll keep picking up a lot of things from them and taking a little bit from each player and just getting better every day.
Are you excited to be making your way through things at Barnsley and at Wales with Vimal? Right now, it seems like you've both made great progress for both club and the Wales youth set up at a similar time.
Yeah, I think it's exciting. It's exciting to do it with someone, like I said before, that I've known for a long time. And we're very competitive. When we were in the 18s together, they used to put us up against each other, and it would always be a bit of a battle. So I think that has sort of spurred us on the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years that we've been playing together here now. And just like seeing, if you'd have taken a step back and looked at this a few years ago and said to me and Vimal, I don't know, when we were 16, that this is where we'd be in 3-4 years' time, then I'm sure we'd have snapped your hand off for it.
Have you got a little side bet on who's potentially going to get that full international cap first?
No, I don't bet. I don't gamble.
I don't blame you, but is that one of the targets over the next few years, though? Because, look, we've seen how, the ride that Wales have gone on, as well as with Barnsley. And, look, if you can keep playing for Barnsley, then hopefully that puts you in the window as well with Craig Bellamy and the Wales team.
Definitely. I think Bellamy's very open to introducing young players into the squad, as you've seen. A lot of my age mates and people I'm close with and I know have had opportunities with him, whether it's through friendlies or like qualifiers, like there has been. I think the way he plays as well, in terms of it's a lot of possession-based football, like should suit me if I get given the chance, and I think that's just steps that I've got to be. He speaks about consistency a lot, so I think that's something that I should sort of look towards and just be consistent for the next year, 2 years, and who knows, I might end up knocking on his door.
You got a couple of home games on Boxing Day and just afterwards. I imagine at Christmas time it's quite nice to look forward to a few games at Oakwell.
Yeah, definitely. I think we had like 4 games on the bounce or something the other day, didn't we? It's got to be done. It's football, but it's nice when you have a couple of home games on the trot and you can sort of build up a bit of an atmosphere, and hopefully we'll pick up a few points and start heading in the right direction, which I know that we can do. So,
I know you've got Christmas Day off. We've spoken to the gaffer. What does that look like for you? Do you struggle to kind of not eat as much, for example, if people around you are tucking in?
No, I'll be going home. I'll be going to see my family, my mum and dad, for Christmas, luckily. So I'm appreciative of that. But I won't be having Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. I'll be having it after the game on Boxing Day, that's for sure. Because I know what I'm like, and I like a big plate. So it won't be on Christmas Day, that's for sure.
What are the key items on your Christmas dinner then that you look forward to?
What don't I like? I think we sort of just get everything we get a big thing for the whole family, and everyone can just pick what they want and dip in. So that's the plan.
I love it, absolutely. Is there anything that you miss out on at Christmas that you kind of love to be involved, or do you just kind of take it that this is part of the deal of being a professional footballer?
I think it's just one of the things that do as a footballer. Like you say, I think there's so many pros to this profession and then being a footballer and all of that. So I think when even if I wasn't being able to go home and see my parents this Christmas, like I know for a fact they'd be coming up and doing something with me, and family's the main thing for me at Christmas anyway. So that's the only thing that I think I'd miss out on. But luckily, now the gaffer's given us the day off, then I get to go home, which is brilliant.
Well, enjoy it, and congratulations on a great year.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, pal.
Hi, John.
Hi, Dan.
Yeah, obviously, you mentioned you're playing at right back at the moment. Obviously, a few injuries in there, people playing out of position, like 10A on the left as well. Is it just to sort of like get through this period kind of thing at the moment, and everyone has to sort of play a bit out of position at times?
I mean, possibly, but I think tactically, there's definitely tactical elements towards why we're doing it and why we want to play that way. So it's sort of just, when I do play there, that I'm the best that I can be and help the team and help to, get points and it's sort of because I'm playing a little bit higher at times as well, sort of try and affect the game a little bit more and with goals or assists, like I did at Lincoln, and that's sort of what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah, because obviously, like you say, you do get forward, but there's other times when you go into midfield as well. Does it help you sort of, it seems like quite a demanding role in terms of when to judge, when to do each one of them. Does it help you sort of develop in doing that?
Yeah, definitely. I've done a lot of work on sort of the timing of it, and like you say, when to do it and when not to do it. It's a lot to do with sort of mentally how I can, how I think about it, and decision making is key in that sort of role. So yeah, I'm just learning that every day and trying to get better at that, watching it back and all of that.
You spoke about the Christmas period sort of off the pitch, but on the pitch, obviously 5 games in a fortnight. I don't think you'll have had a Christmas as a sort of professional before. I know obviously Peterborough Sports had a few games, but maybe not as many as Barnsley have got. I guess it's just one of those things as a footballer, you have to play all these games, and it, obviously it's a good thing too. How are you looking forward to this period, I guess?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm really looking forward to it. Like he says, as a professional for Barnsley, it's my first proper Christmas that I'm involved games. Last year I was training quite a bit over this period, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think playing as many games as you can is the best thing about football, If I could play a game every 3 days, then I would do. But so yeah, I think it's also good that we can sort of put away bad performances quite quickly when the game's just round the corner. Everyone's looking forward to the next game, and we have a big chance Boxing Day to prove that we're better than the team that we put out against Exeter.
Yeah, you mentioned sort of goals and assists. I think you might have hit the post quite a few times this season, earlier in the season, so you've obviously been close. Is that obviously one you want to tick off, get that first professional goal?
Yeah, I mean, I've been waiting for it, but I think think it might be a case of me thinking about it too much. It'll come. It's just about just waiting for it to happen, and rather than snatching at things and almost forcing it to happen.
Yeah, and you spoke earlier about Connor says you got a high ceiling. What specifically is he trying to get you to improve? What do you think's the next sort of couple of steps that might kick you on to the next level?
I think it's just a lot of it is game understanding and being able to handle the tempo. And the thing is about the English game at the minute is it's very physical, and football's becoming a running game and all of this. So I have to be better physically as well. It's something that I'm trying to get better at. So it'll come. I just sort of, like I say, listen to him, and then also go away and do extra work and sort of just prepare myself for the next, I don't know, hopefully a long career.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I heard John, I hope you well. I mean, you must look back, this time last Christmas, what was it? Peterborough Sports, and you were on the bench. You've come hell of a long way, haven't you?
Yeah, I think the last year or so, probably when I first went on loan to Peterborough Sports, I think my game and me as a person has changed quite a lot, hopefully in a positive way. So, it's been nice, and hopefully it'll continue.
Are you one for sort of setting targets, sort of start of each year, that sort of thing, and this is what I want to do, that sort of thing?
A little bit, but I like to try not to, I guess, put everything in a box and sort of limit myself as well as be too unrealistic. I think I'm more of a person that takes day by day and week by week and sort of not let myself try and get too far ahead of me, but also, if I am going through a bad patch, don't be too down about it and struggling and thinking, oh, I'm not where I want to be targets wise. I've not scored a goal. I'm not one to sort of dwell on it too much. I sort of just look to the next one.
I think it's quite refreshing. You're opening the fact that you played for Wales age groups, and you want to play for the sort of senior team one day, and I think that's sort of admirable. That's all power to you, really, isn't it? And like you say, there's a lot of players who've come through the lower divisions who've followed that route into the sort of seniors, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, the Wales national team is just getting better and better at the minute. In terms of squad quality, there's a lot more players playing in the top divisions. So
yeah,
it might have to take me a couple of years before I make my name on the international stage, but it's definitely something that I have my eyes on for the future.
What's been your standout moment? You've had a great year. I mean, a lot of memories. What's the sort of one that when you think about stuff that you're sort of proudest about? You think, because you obviously ticked a few boxes this year.
Yeah, I think probably the big turning point for me was the Huddersfield at home game.
Yeah.
I think if I remember rightly, it was probably my first start in midfield of the season. And obviously I played quite well and there was some key moments there that I was involved in, and I think that for me just let me know, it calmed me down a little bit. It just let me know that I can make that position mine and sort of be comfortable enough to play it week in, week out at this level.
And for a young lad, I mean, obviously you've got all the technical skills, but you're quite vocal as well. That's important, isn't it? It's that's a part of football and game management, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's something I'm working on, to be honest. Luca next to me is always shouting at me, telling me to be louder. So no, he's good at just reminding me, because sometimes when you're in transition and you're blowing and you're trying to get your breath back, it's hard to suddenly try and switch on and organise people. But in the middle of the park, you have to be. And if I see myself as a leader, and sort of whether that's by how I play or how I speak, then hopefully in the future I want to be a leader of teams, whether that's with the armband anywhere or not. You can be a leader without being a captain. So I want to be more vocal, and that's sort of the step. That's what I'm trying to be better at, to be honest.
You said you enjoy playing the games, the football. It seems to me you enjoy the day-to-day of being a professional as well. You're learning about stuff, you're doing your extras, and every day is probably a bit of a school day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's don't get me wrong, there's definitely days where I don't feel like that. But on the large part, no, I'm it's still relatively new to me and it's pretty fresh, so I try not to take any of it for granted, and I know sometimes that is hard, but you get a little bit comfortable at times. But
yeah,
the older boys, like the senior lads and the coaching staff, are good at reminding you that the position can be gone quite quickly if you're not at it every single day. So that's sort of, it's good that we've got a group around us that, especially for the young lads, that can sort of just kick you back into gear when you do slip out.
And you're probably a bit of a role model. There's people below you in the academy, they're looking up to people like you as well, aren't they? That's sort of part of it.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that the lads that are, whether it's joining from a different academy like I did at 16, or whether it's lads that have been there since they were 9, there is a chance for people to come through and perform. And, when I joined here, I joined for that reason. I knew Barnsley were a club that historically sort of brought through younger players and gave them opportunities. And, it hadn't happened consistently for a while before people around my age, and hopefully like me, along with Vimal and Fabio, are providing sort of the template for people to push on and break through.
I was going to ask you, Father, I mean, you sound a bit of a bit of the sports know. I mean, obviously you love your cricket as well, didn't you? But is there any sort of stories in sport football that have sort of inspired you? You know, like why the sort of stories, sort of famous players, that sort of thing, and you know, anyone whose stories resonated with you?
Not necessarily stories, to be honest. I'm more of like I used to watch a lot of football. I was very obsessed with football as a kid. I was obsessed with stats and you know, people that could control games were my idols. You know, I was a big Tony Cruz fan and a big Iniesta fan, and you know, everyone that sort of like what I'd call like midfield general was sort of like could dictate the play just from the middle of the park. I feel like they were the people that sort of made me I wanted to be like them. Even from a kid that played Sunday League before I was at West Brom, you know. So I think that's what I'm still learning. I'm trying to get into, you know, I'm trying to become even 1% of a player Tony Cruz is, and you know, I think I should be all right.
Yeah. Do you listen to sort of podcasts and stuff like that? Any other extra thing?
Yeah, but they're not all football ones, but a bit of like under the cosh and sort of more comedic ones, like you know, ones you can listen to and laugh rather than the more serious ones, I think.
Bit of a distraction,
yeah.
All the best for Christmas, John, and have a good New Year, mate.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas as well.